the better roster, I think, belongs
AEW.
I think it does, but the problem is they don't get booked. And if I'm looking at this, like the better roster, yes, is AEW, because Mercedes Moné is one of the biggest female wrestling stars out there. Like she's crossed over, she's appearing in a lot of different things as an actress as well. So she's starting to have that crossover appeal a little bit. But the problem is, like, the women just don't get the time that they do over in WWE. Like, again, as evidenced by one of the top stars in WWE is Rhea Ripley. Like, she is she is Monday Night Raw. Gets featured a ton on Monday Night Raw. So what she, and that just shows you, okay, you give the women time. This is what they can be. This is what they can do. They can carry your company. And I think if the women got more of an opportunity, I think that they could shine in AEW. They just haven't figured out how to do it yet for whatever reason.
Just as an aside, talking about the women, it's funny we bring this up, bro. It's because, did you notice Monday Night Raw this past Monday in San Diego? Did you notice, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't there 3 women's matches on the card? I believe it was. Nia Jackson, Becky Lynch. We got Rhea Ripley, Ivy Nile, and we've got Zoe Stark and Baszler,
and then a tag match.
Tegan Nox and Natalya. I don't know how often we've seen that, but I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that tag match put in a rough spot to follow Dwayne. So the crowd was a little exhausted, but yes, I get your point.
So, okay, it is. You are correct when you say, well, how can AEW do this? It's been a long time bitch of a lot of people on the internet regarding how AEW doesn't utilize the women properly, or they're not getting enough shine. Hell, it's led by Britt Baker, who I mean, late last year, she was just like, hey, where's my time? Now she's been hurt and she's still looking for time. It doesn't mean that, hey, her voice still works. She just can't work in the ring right now. But look at that roster, right? Now adding Deonna Purrazzo. This person hit GKW_wrestling yesterday. And I said, hey, this is great. Deonna Purrazzo coming from Impact Wrestling. This is great. And I said, my response was, it's great because it adds more of a veteran presence to the roster. She won't be able to add any ratings or attendance. I go, first of all, go pound sand. What are you talking about? I was like, do you mean that every person that you bring into your wrestling company is supposed to be there to increase the ratings 100% and increase attendance? No, it's like a baseball team or a football team. You're just adding to your roster so you can have a winning roster. Purrazzo is one of those people that you bring in. She's had a lot of great matches, and she'll be a nice veteran. If they utilize her properly, she'll be in the title picture. But yes. I mean, I think that's cool. I think that they have a number of women, but as you guys said, they just need to be utilized a lot more and be put in the spotlight a lot more. They got it right with Julia Hart.
Yeah. And Tony.
Yeah.
Tony.
So, I mean, yeah, with Tony, again, but it just seems like they're trying to get more women involved, but it just it ends up being these backstage vignettes. Like, I mean, how long was Tony's thing with Renee this week? 30 seconds? Before she was scooped up and said her, she doesn't even say her full catchphrase anymore. It's just, she's shortened it to 3 words. And then
I noticed that.
which that may have sounded like a complaint. It's not. It's hilarious. A+ work in that 30 seconds. I just wish she had more, is what I'm saying.
So long.
And
go on.
Yeah. and then you have the whole thing with, the Outcasts. They're trying to keep that alive. That ends up being a backstage thing with Renee as well, with Saraya and Ruby. But so that's all they kind of get. And then maybe you get a match out there. But the one match they get was Mariah May's debut, which was really just a tool to get.
But that was a good match.
Yeah,
we at least got a good match that wasn't a squash. And Mariah, I'll admit, is not someone I've watched, but everyone seems to be very high on her. So hopefully we get stuff there. You have Tony, you have Britt, you have Sky,
you got
Jamie Hayter eventually. I mean, Hood and I were talking before the show. You have Athena on this roster who's doing unbelievable work. You're just putting her behind a paywall for some reason.
So, a nice vignette for Serena Deeb. She's back.
Yes. So
Serena Deeb's vignette was spectacular.
There's stuff to work with there. But yes, I completely agree. I'm not ready to give them the benefit of the doubt yet and say, oh yeah, with this roster, they're going to cook, because we haven't seen it with the women's division just yet.
With this roster, they should.
Yes, 100%.
They should cook.